Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. My name is Heather. I'm an intuitive artist, author, animal communicator, energy healer for pets and people, psychic channeler, medium, and I'm on a mission to empower and embolden others to connect with their divine radiant light and honor the sacred connection with all life. It's a lot of words. Honor the sacred connection with all life, empower and embolden others to connect with their divine radiant light. We could bottom line that really simply to say, I want you to feel fully and intensely the most activated, beautiful, up-leveled version of you as possible, the most authentic you. One of the ways I like to do that is with a monthly energy forecast. And it is time for December 2024. I did pull through some channeled messages from my guides for this, and I'll share that in just a minute. But I want to check in first with you. This has been quite a roller coaster of a year. And as we are approaching the end of it, I just want to do a little kind of all systems check with you, feeling into your energy body, your physical body as well. Many of us come to the end of a year in such a rush, in like this haste to get everything done. If we think of the holidays and things get a little busy and we're traveling or we're visiting, make sure you're taking time just for you to have a little time out. And the team's going to talk about a little bit of that as well. But just take that time for you to appreciate how far you've come this year. Many of you are on a path of growth and development, whether that's personal development, pursuing your passions of connecting more spiritually with the world, connecting more passionately and beautifully with yourself, with your pets. Honor all the steps that you've taken so far to get here. So the theme for the month of December is amplification. And I think what we're going to see in the collective energy and on our personal landscapes as well is a lot of things spiking up. The way I picture it is if you're looking at sound levels, if any of you are familiar with that kind of image, and it just looks like a lot of spikes, a lot of things being turned up. There are a lot of diversions. There are a lot of, I want to call them energy redirects, where it's going to be, look over here at this big thing, look over here at this thing. And they're going to be pitted against one another, and it's going to feel, or it has the potential to feel, very chaotic, and that our energy is being tugged and pulled in a lot of different directions, more so than just that it's the holidays and we're traveling and we're visiting and all the things I already mentioned. And when we're talking about amplification, the skill that I feel we're being guided to at least start, if not master, this month is learning what to mute, learning what to turn down. And I don't necessarily mean this from the perspective of sound. Amplification can just be anything that is kind of, spiking, running a little bigger than we would like, running a little hotter than we would like. I'm looking at the definition that I had written down, and it is the action of enlarging or adding to something, basically. The process of increasing the volume of sound, we know that one. The action of increasing the amplitude of an electrical signal, the action of making something more marked or intense. So that's going to be what's going around. Anything that we're witnessing in ourselves and in the collective, there's like this extra 10x power to it that comes with the month of December. So I don't really want to say not everything is as it seems, but I also want to say not everything is as it seems. So when you're watching things, even in your own internal dialogue, assume that the volume has been turned up. Assume that it's coming in at, what is that from the movie Spinal Tap? Dial it up to 11. It's coming in at a level 11, but really, in reality, it's more like a 4 or a 5. But the energy of December is making everything look a little louder, look a little bigger, look a little spikier and scarier. And it's our job. It's our job. We get to do this, you guys. This is fun. It's our job to say, whew, I see you. I see you coming in at an 11, and I'm going to need you at about a 4. And it's our job to apply our own energy in the way that we observe something, in the way that we relate to ourselves, use our own energy to mute, to quiet, to turn down the volume on that. It's pretty interesting, and it's pretty sacred work. It might seem childish, might seem mundane to some of you, but we're very reactionary, just innately as people. And this is taking the skill of observing and applying your energy to mold and create and shape not just your own experience, but what also is broadcast out into the world. So I'm going to let the channeled message come through right now, and I'll be back at the end to touch on a couple more things that I would like to bring up. So enjoy the message, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Hello, bright and beautiful beings. We would speak to you today regarding the upcoming energy for your month of December 2024. It will be a busy time for many of you, as this time of year frequently is. We would speak on the collective energy in a way in which we would invite you to consider the word amplification. Much in your world will be amplified. Notice that we speak up when we say that. We do not mean amplified simply in a sense of being loud, but we use loud as the construct of more, amplified. Imagine something peaking to a point that is slightly pushing upon your tolerance. For many of you will experience such a pinch, such a push within the energy of December 2024. And you may feel that with things that you notice around you. You may feel that with things that you notice within you. So we would ask you to consider that every cell within your body is both a speaker that receives frequency and a microphone that transmits frequency. And in what way, as you journey through the next few weeks, can you turn down or mute what you do not need and turn up what you want more of, what you wish to receive? For it is this delicate dance of differences in energy that you are being asked to learn and asked to apply within the month of December. Much around you will seem inflamed. Much around you will seem hot. Much around you will seem relentless in its chaos, for lack of a better word. Although we know that some of you assign chaos to be negative, and we do not mean it as such. Chaos is the act of creation, and we would say allow yourself, when you see something that is amplified, to consider what is it that is being birthed? What is it that is being brought through? What is it that I can observe in a way that is separate from my filter of it? For many of you view the world around you, as you know, through your own lens, through your own filter, through your own perspective. And so you color those events that you witness, you color those things, you color the conversations, you color your thoughts with your own filter. If you consider amplification, what is it that you inherently and innately turn up for yourself? Is it something where someone agrees with you? Is it something where someone disagrees with you? For many of you, like to amplify that as well. And then you feel the energy of that feeds you in a different way, for it provokes you, it moves you. We are not saying that is a bad thing, but be sure that it moves you towards something that is the highest expression of your soul. And we say that when overall we speak of amplification in the next few weeks, consider amplifying your highest timeline. For that is the subtlety of the steps within the dance that you are doing. If you observe something you do not wish, say that is not on my timeline. If you observe something you do prefer, yes, I would like that on my timeline. We would show the image of, in your world, a salad bar where you can pick and choose what you prefer, and you take what you prefer and you put it on your plate. And if you do not like something, you do not put it on your plate. Many of you, in the way you view the world right now, put everything on your plate and then complain about what it is that's in front of you. Stop putting things on your plate. Stop amplifying the volume for that which it is you do not prefer. It does not mean you then need to amplify what is opposite of that, what is antithetical to that, for there is not always a productive purpose and a productive energy in matching amplification for amplification. So we would say focus for now over the next few weeks in observing things in your world, whether it's your personal world or the collective world upon which you gaze. What is it that feels louder? What is it that feels amplified? What is it that feels like it has a jolt of energy? And do I prefer that? Do I want to take that with me? Do I want to put that ingredient on my plate? And if you do not, stop giving it your attention. Do not give it your attention by saying, I wish it were different. Do not give it your attention by saying, oh, why is it like this? Do not give it your attention by phoning someone and saying, have you seen this thing? Have you heard this thing? Can you believe this thing? All of those are amplifying. And you see that we increased our pace of speech with that demonstration. That is part of what many of you do with amplification. You seek to find clues, evidence, sources through which you can reinforce your perspectives. Ask yourself if that is quite honestly working for you. Or does it feel like things get amplified when you do that? And if they are amplified, are those things that you are amplifying for your highest timeline? Another image we would share with you is that of a bus route or a subway route where you can see all of the stops along the path. And we would say, imagine that each of those stops along the path in this imaginary map, this imaginary subway of the route of your energy and the route of your thoughts. Imagine that each of those steps is something that your mind goes to every day. It may be the perspective of, oh no. It may be the perspective of, oh, I can't wait. It may be the perspective of, oh, I don't want to have that conversation. It may be the perspective of, what is my purpose? It may be the perspective of, what did I forget to do earlier today that was on my list? Our minds tend to go to the same bus stops, the same subway stops often. Some of you may even wish to draw this as a map for yourself, for it can help you visualize where you are spending your resources and what on that map pings or shows up. Where does that bus stop most frequently? That is what you are amplifying. And ask yourself, if I am amplifying this in my life, do I want more of it? If my thoughts are always going toward, oh no, do I want more? Oh no. Because as you feed it, as you invest your energy into it, as you amplify it, you're essentially turning up the volume on that song so that you hear more. Oh no. Coming to you now, the greatest hits of oh no from the past decade, and you will hear them all and you will sing along and you will get more of that. If you do not wish to hear that, turn down the volume. Many of you need to practice being nuanced in this. And you will witness more of this. It is a time of many in the collective feeling big energy. And so what they love, they will shout in adoration. What they dislike, they will shout in frustration. There will be a lot of shouting. There will be a lot of amplification, and it will be difficult for you to turn down the volume. Practice doing that. Practice with your own thoughts, practice with your own energy, and then apply that to the collective as well. Amplification. That is the theme. The way in which you navigate it is to practice a cooling off, a de-inflammation, turning something down. Many of you are challenged to find the stillness of self. Feel into the energy we share right now with you. The stillness of self need not be frightening. The stillness of self need not be something that you grapple with. The stillness of self can just be restful. It can restore your energy. It can allow you space. It can be a clearer platform in your subway, in your bus stop, from which you view things. Find the stillness of self. And from that place, observe, what do I wish to turn up? What do I wish to amplify? And what do I wish to turn down? What do I wish to mute? Be blessed, dear ones, as you journey through the next weeks. You have more beautiful radiance and more capability within you than you realize. You are stunning, beautiful souls. Feel that. Feel that in the core of your being. And know that you are loved beyond measure. Be blessed, dear ones. As we continue talking about amplification, I just want to refer to some of the things that I had jotted down before I went into the channeling. And the team talked about some of them, but I just want to make sure I'm hitting all of these points for us. One of the things that I had jotted down was practice giving zero attention to what you do not want on your timeline. And this is that action of, it's not for me. It might be out there. That's absolutely beautiful. It's not for me. I think the team talked about the salad bar or like the restaurant version of, I don't want the broccoli. Well, then don't put the broccoli on your plate. Quit talking about the broccoli. It's that kind of thing. And we think we're masters at this, but it still kind of creeps in sometimes to our existence, because then we'll have the conversation. Hey, did you see that broccoli? Oh my gosh, it looked really bad. Well, now you're just amplifying, you're adding to the energy of that which you do not want. So turning away from it, muting it, turning down the volume, not paying any attention to it. We also talked about, I think, imagining every cell in your body is a microphone and a speaker. So everything around you. It's not just what am I witnessing with my eyes, what am I feeling with my intuition. Imagine that you're saturating yourself with all of it. How differently would you walk through life if you knew that everything is just coming in there at a cellular level? Because it is through the energy body. So just having that in your awareness. The other thing I had written down that I don't think the team talked about, but I just want to mention here, since the energy is that of amplification, sometimes what we also witness in the world is the counterbalance to that happening. So it wouldn't surprise me if there are some water-based stories, water-based events, precipitation, flooding, something of that nature. The counter energy of turning something up, inflaming something would be turning it down. So just keep that in mind as you're planning your travel and things like that. Keep an eye on weather patterns and such. And there was also the image of the uptake of water, like from a saturation perspective. If you take a paper towel and you put it in a puddle of water, that seepage that you would see from that, take that for whatever you mean that to be energetically. I just want to share that image did come through as well. And maybe that can help you with how you consider cooling something or de-amplifying something, muting something. And then I wanted to touch on the bus stop thing too, because I thought that was kind of fun. And I hope it made sense in the way that the team was saying it. But if you go to the subway or you look at a bus stop in a city that you're visiting, you see kind of the circular, or sometimes not so circular, but the route where it's going to all the different neighborhoods, all the different bus stops. And they were saying that think of your thoughts and the way you spend your energy like that map every day. Because sometimes, I'm thinking about the X. Like, that's a bus stop some of us go to a lot. Or I'm thinking about the time I really screwed that thing up. Sometimes we go to that bus stop a lot. And just putting the visual there, you may even want to jot it down on paper. I think the team said that too. Where do your thoughts keep going? And is that a route you want to carry forward? Because part of what we typically tend to do as humans at the end of the year is say, what do I want to do for my next year? And how do I want that year to look? So use this time in 2024 as we're looking at the energy of amplification and what is bigger, what is louder for you. Do you want that to still be bigger and louder? Or is this the time to kind of drop it, shut down that particular bus stop, stop the route from going there? I also wanted to honor that a lot of the energy that is related to this is connected to the throat chakra this month. So within the energy body, that is the area that processes creativity in the way that we express it. So having the awareness of what you're passionate about, how are you expressing it? Are you almost over-expressing it in a way that is amplified, or do you need to express it a little more? Either just for yourself. Sometimes we just have the idea that, I don't even want to speak it out loud because something might happen. Maybe you speak it out loud to yourself. Maybe you put something in writing for yourself. It doesn't have to be vocalizing. But what creativity can you put out into the world even if it's just for yourself, it still goes out into the world energetically, and express your own truth this month. That's part of the energy as well. The element of the natural world that was connected to this energy is that of aloe. I kept seeing this beautiful aloe plant. And if we just think of, if you get a sunburn, things have run hot, things were amplified, the sun's rays were amplified. You would put aloe on it to kind of soothe it and cool it down. So asking, inviting, invoking the energy of aloe to work with you throughout the month when things do feel like they're running a little too hot, when they feel a little too inflamed, when they feel a little too amplified, connecting in that way. So let's look at the energy frequency art. And for those who are new here, maybe this is your first forecast. Each month I channel a piece of sacred geometry art that represents the frequency of the energy of the month. So this is the visual representation through my channeled art of amplification. I always love hearing what you all see in the art. Everybody sees something a little different. Sometimes we see what we need to see. So I would love for you to leave me a comment and let me know what you think about this one. What comes through for me a lot is the texture or the intensity of the blue, which to me is also connected back to that throat chakra energy and that communication and that putting something out into the world that is yours, your truth, your voice. It may even just be speaking truth to yourself. And the team talked about sitting in the stillness of self. Maybe that's when some of that truth can come through for you. So that's all I have for this monthly forecast. What are you all seeing out in the world? What are you looking forward to in December? Let me know how things are for you. Leave me a comment below. And I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye.